Hi, folks, and welcome to Raving with Rua here on my YouTube channel, Songs from the Rua Room, dedicated to singer-songwriters from Belgium and beyond. Great to see you all here again. Going to try a few afternoon streams for the people who might be stranded at home during these uncertain times of lockdowns and shutdowns and lock-ins. But anyway, it's great to see you all. Welcome back to the channel. This is a little part of what I do here on the channel. I do a live stream show where I get to talk to singer-songwriters from Belgium and beyond, and that's a great little thing. Co-hosting today, this fella here, Gangani, the patron saint of pagan poets. Check out Gangani and his work. I'm a fan. There he is. So anyway, he'll be watching us carefully today. As always, folks, if you're watching on YouTube, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Helps me to build a channel and get the songs out there, songs of the musicians that I talk to, of course. Very important. Sharing is caring in this game. So that's that. If you'd like to subscribe, to donate rather, the PayPal link is always there in the description below. You can PayPal that virtual tip jar there and throw a few shekels in the jar. Should you, feel like keeping me and the channel alive, please do so. Lots of live viewers already, which is really great. And again, if you're watching live, please let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And if you have any questions for me or the guest today, throw them up there and I'll stick them up on the screen and you can interact with us. That would be great. Always nice to hear from you. And as always, of course, folks, today's stream sponsored by the great people at G-Sharp Guitars. They're the world's finest travel electric guitars, and check them out as well if you need a guitar, an electric guitar for travel purposes, or indeed just for studio purposes. They make great guitars. So I think that's all the advertising done, and all going to plan. I hope that my guest is over there in Alst today. Probably one of the people I met from the very, very first time I came to Belgium, I think. So we probably know each other over 20 years, and it's great that he's taken time out of his schedule to be with us today. Great singer, entertainer, performer, and songwriter. Please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Herby Van Zanten. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, Dahi.
Thanks for
How's
joining.
it going?
I'm very well. Are you all right? How are you surviving this lockdown?
Well, it's a week. It's been a week of firsts, really.
It has been, yeah.
Yeah.
How so? What do you mean, a week of firsts?
I've done my first live stream concert
yeah.
yesterday.
Saw that.
So that was a first because of the lock-in. And happy St. Paddy's Day, by the way.
Well, yeah, or happy National Hangover Day, as someone remarked.
Exactly.
The other day, you have something to quench
I
your
do.
thirst there, have you? Oh,
I have. I've a special. I've gotten a special little mug for these troubled times.
That's fantastic.
It's it's something.
It's something, yeah. So you can straight to the head with the coffee. Yeah.
It is.
That's great. Love it.
But it's good to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh no, you're very welcome, and I'm long overdue chat about what you're doing musically and all that these days because, as I said, we know each other a long time. We go back a fair bit. Do you remember the first time we met?
I've a poor recollection of it. Obviously, it might have something to do with copious amounts of alcohol at the time. I think it was back in '94 when first we met in a place called Gerardsbergen. You were doing a gig there, and I was in the audience, and we got to talking afterwards, and the rest, as they say, is history. That's how I remember it, anyway.
Yeah. It was around at least 94, 95. I hadn't moved over yet, and I was playing Tavern Kabushkin. I think. What is that?
That's right.
Yeah. Martin and Bart, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God, that's The memory is serving me now, but it's the and you were. I don't even know if you were playing guitar at that stage. Even were you?
I was. Yeah, I was.
Were you?
I'd been playing guitar for a number of years, but I hadn't been performing at that stage. And I think the first time for me doing a live concert was actually your gig in a place called Brockle, I think.
Wow.
I looked this up,
Wow, yeah, you
preparing for
did.
the interview. Yeah.
And you did the open act.
I did,
If
yeah.
you
I
can
did the
join me for a
support
song or two.
act. I
Yeah.
did.
But
And that's how it
we're
all.
talking 20 years
Oh,
ago or
yeah.
more,
We're
25
talking
years ago.
25 years ago now. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
I'll have to do some kind of remembrance gig or something
Absolutely.
one of these days.
And maybe I'll be invited.
You might be. You might
Maybe.
be.
Let's see who's on the chat. We have, of course, Val, the wonderful Val. She's over
Hello,
there on the
Val.
coast. Hi, Val. Thanks for
Lovely.
tuning in. Lovely to see you. And I think she came in especially from the garden. She was out gardening today, and
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
unless
Yeah.
maybe she's still in the garden watching. I don't know, but just on that note, folks, self-isolate, but get outside. We're still allowed to go outside. Get out and get fresh air. The sun is shining. Just not to preach about it, but just remember. I think we probably know that lady there.
Oh, hello, Karen.
Karen Lilly. Nice to see you, Karen. Thank you very much for dropping into the chat. Lovely to see you. Before I forget, let me put up. No, I'll do that later. I want to talk to you about. You did the very very first. One of the very very first Rural Room recordings for me. I was starting off on the channel, this channel about a year and a half ago. As I said, if you're watching this for the first time, the channel is based basically a channel that I record singer-songwriters in my apartment, and I give them a YouTube video. So all the videos will be there on the ruralroom.com. You get links to all the different playlists. This live stream one is just part of one of the playlists. This is episode number 19 of that playlist. So in case you're coming to the channel for the first time and you're wondering what it's all about singer-songwriters. And this is a small part of it where I'm able to reach over to all the way to Alst and places like that around the world to talk to people. But anyway, I'm gone off the subject. Fergie Milton, how are you doing? Great to see you, boy. Fergie was out in Bergen too. He did a couple of gigs with me, and remember Fergie.
Oh,
Great to see you. Great to see you, Daniela. Cafe Danche.
Oh,
you were meant to play there on Sunday, of course.
I was meant to play there, but the virus took over.
The virus killed it all, I know. But we'll do it again. Hi, Daniela. And bedankt voor te kijken, as they say in Rotterdam.
You're a cunning linguist, Dahi.
Thank you very much. I'm a cunning linguist. Indeed, I am. Oh, less of that now. Who else is online here? We have Marianne. Hi, Marianne. Great to see you.
Hello, Marianne. Hello.
Yeah. Gegrage ik cake. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. It's great. You loads of fans everywhere, Herbie. It's great. But we were talking about the very first Rural Room video, and one of your nicest songs, and definitely one of your more popular songs. I think it's requested a lot when you do your songwriter gigs. I say songwriter gigs as opposed to the other gigs, but we'll talk about that as well. You've a bird has two wings, as I say. You do some bar gigs, which of course we all do or have done, and then you do your songwriter thing, wearing the songwriter hat. So we'll come back to those in a minute. But tell me a bit about this song. This is you did one of the very first songs. I didn't have a proper setup. I think I just said sit in the couch there and I'd record you. It was fine. No, I mean as regards it worked out very well. What I mean is I didn't have the proper studio backdrop or the studio equipment at the time. I was only getting into the channel, and you wrote this song called the Hollow Road, and it's a beautiful song. Tell us a little bit about it.
The song it's really the story of my hometown, which is a very small town back in a place called Hemelveerdigem in East Flanders, next to Gerritsbergen, where I'm from. And I left the village when I, growing up, going to college and all that, and starting my adult life, so to speak. But I got back to it a lot, to my family, and a lot of things happened in that town. Obviously, my mother passed away. One of my best friends passed away, and it's really about that, about the loss that I've suffered, but also about the really nice things that go on there, and the fact that every time you go back to a place like that you call home, you know, you feel very welcome, and it's like you've never left, and people still know you and still appreciate you.
Exactly.
And the first time I performed it for any audience to speak of was actually in the local church, um, which is a very, you know, very small church, and we turned it into a bit of a theater. And about 200 people showed up from the village, which basically is the entire village,
Yeah.
not counting the sheep and cows. Everybody showed up and listened to the songs, and that was really nice. And I don't know, the song just kind of touches people on a personal level, I suppose. And also, you know, the recording that we did back in the early stage, I'd say, of the song was very basic, and that's the way I still play it when I do my solo gigs. But it has to be said that Geert van Bever in Ghost Town Studios, who does, as we'll talk about that later, I suppose,
We will.
who does the On a Scale of Happiness gigs with me, did a fantastic job on it, production wise.
Yes.
And that's
He
how the
he
song turned out
absolutely
the way
did.
it is.
We'll talk about that because we're gonna talk about what you do with Kurt as well
Mhm.
after this song, and because of course, yeah, you do your solo thing, but yeah, Kurt absolutely does add another element to what you're doing,
He does, yeah.
and the production of the album is superb, as we'll
Thank you.
hear later on in the broadcast. But folks, I wanna share this with you now. It's all going to plan. Um, if
For
I can
now,
find it, there it is. I'll go on to plan. This is Herbie's great song called "The Hollow Road," which is also on his new album, and this is the one we did in the RWR room. It looks like August 2018. My God,
Mhm.
my God. I arrived driving up the road that leads to heaven. Told a story in simple chords in Armand's tavern. Past the place my friend died, I passed the place where my mother lied. Left this place in the distant past, its tears and laughter, boyhood crushes and friendly scars, fun disaster. I left the place my friend died. I left the place where my mother died. And the hollow road leads to heaven. And the hollow road leads to heaven. Welcome home, said a friendly voice. We've all been waiting. You can tell us your stories now, of far off places. Now you're back in the place where your friend died. Now you're back in the place where your mother lied. And the hollow road leads to heaven. And the hollow road leads to heaven.
they gathered around a fire with candles burning, and they closed me back in their arms. We know you're yearning in the very place where my friend died, in the very place where my mother lied, and the hollow road leads to heaven, and the hollow road leads to heaven.
The Beautiful Hollow Road, folks, from the great Herbie Van Zanten. That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a fan of that. From the first time I heard it. Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
absolutely. And I was very honoured, of course, to have known and met your mother several occasions. Lovely woman.
Yeah.
I know she's in there somewhere in that song. And yeah, absolutely. She was well loved in the village and everywhere.
Oh, she was.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
was. Well, absolutely. A couple more comments here, Herbie. Let's look at these. Oh, by the way, did anyone ever tell you have an Irish accent?
No, I think you're the first.
No, am I the first?
Yeah, you are, and you're also the reason for the accent, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to. Yeah.
Okay, moving swiftly along. Ingrida. Hey,
hello, Ingrida.
Hey, Herbie.
Hello.
Where's
all the decorations I gave you? Yeah, they're in the other part of the room. They're over there.
Okay, you probably use them. Did you use them last night at your?
I did, yeah. I did.
Okay, so you have to go back and look at his live stream, Ingrida. But thanks for tuning in. Great to see you. A fella called Kieran Byrne is tuned in. Hi,
Kieran. There he is, all the way from Spain. Hello, Kieran.
He's in Spain. Thank you for tuning in, Kieran. Thrilled to see you play last night on our National Day, dampened by the virus. Yeah. Everything is dampened by the virus, but hey, look, we still have technology. We're still safe and well, and we can do these little live streams, and we can.
That's right.
Send the music out there. Isn't that it? Thank you very much, Philip, for tuning in. Philip the Cook. Thank you very much. He says good work, Dahi. Thank you so much. Wim is watching. Wim. Yay, music. We have Stephen from downtown Weerschot. Stephen the Good Mojo is tuned in as usual. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. And Daniela, of course, from Weerschot. So beautiful. She says, pity about the virus, but we'll definitely get the performances back. Yeah, I'm doing a bit of booking there for Culture Cafe Dansha Songwriter Sunday, we call it, folks, here in the new place I live, the new village called Weerschot, or Leave Again as it's about to be called. So we will, Daniela, we'll get it all back. We'll get the ball rolling again, of course we will. Once this is all over, we'll have some mighty parties. Thanks very much, Fergie, again. He just says one word, says Fergie, class.
Wow.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Absolute class.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in. And you're a great fan of Kaiser capos too, I noticed.
I am.
You use the partial capos and stuff.
I do, yeah.
Which is really cool. Yeah. I'll be doing a little capo thing in the next few days here as well. So
all right.
Keep a watch out for that. But I want to ask you a little bit about, as I ask everybody on here, your songwriting process. Herbie, do you like to sit down and try and get the bones of a song with guitar and voice together, or do you like to just kind of tip away with lyrics, taking notes first? And how do you go about a bit of everything, maybe?
Yeah, a bit of everything, really. I mean, I don't really have one set way of doing things. It might be just a few words or a line that gets stuck in my head, I suppose. Or it might start off with, something on the guitar, a few notes or a few chords that follow each other, and then it grows from there. On the album, there's songs, as I suppose you yourself know, because being the great songwriter that you are, some songs just come to you. You can write a song in 5 minutes and it sounds great. Like The Hollow Road took me about, I think, half a day to write, and it just came to me, and there's other songs on the album that have been years in the making, like 2 years, 3 years in the making sometimes,
Yeah,
changing lyrics, changing chords, and so on, trying out new stuff,
indeed.
and new words. That's just part of the process, I suppose. But it's always, to me, it's always a very personal thing. I can't write about things that I haven't lived.
Sure.
So it's mostly about life and
About
love
that,
and
yeah. A lot of people
loss.
say, yeah, you'll write better songs. Of course, they say you'll write better songs when you believe what you're singing, when you know what you're
Yeah.
singing. You can only write about what you know. I think somebody
Hmm.
said once as well.
Yeah.
And whether that's lost love or a grieving process or
Mm.
whatever it is. I found some of the stronger songs I've written to have been in moments of chaos, or there's this
Yeah.
misconception that if things are going bad that you're going to write good songs, but it's not always the case. I have to be in a happy place myself, in the head and the
Right.
heart,
Right.
to write. Sometimes, yes, sometimes you do need grief and you do need stress for it to come out. Yes, I understand, or at least the idea of it to come out.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, for me, I needed to be in a good place to do it. I suppose you do too.
Right. Yeah. Well, it kind of depends. A lot of the songs that I wrote for the new album, I wasn't in a very happy place, as you know, for some time there.
Sure.
But it kind of depends. It kind of depends on the mood that I'm in.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and for me too. But speaking of the new album, it's called On a Scale of Happiness.
It's called Hollow
It's
Road
called The Hollow Road.
by.
Sorry, by your new project is called On a Scale of Happiness. I beg your
That's
pardon.
right.
That's right,
Yes.
and that's the
Here it is.
project with. And there it is. Show me
Here it
that.
is.
Get the
There we
reflection. There
go.
we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Available, of course, at gigs only, right? Is it, or is it
Yeah.
available online? Yes, just a physical thing.
At the moment, just the physical album. We're working on an access to the cyber part of it, I suppose.
Sure, that there's time
Getting
enough for that,
people
I
to.
suppose. Yeah, if you can
Yeah.
get rid of some physical discs, of course, it's always going to be a
Yeah.
better option for people who are
It's
still
just
buying discs. Yeah,
yeah, it's changed a lot in the last few years, and I've had to adapt to it as well, or we've had to adapt to it as well, because my first album years and years ago was, you had the album, you had the CD, and that was it.
mm.
There was no downloading, there was no iTunes, there was none of that.
It's a-
And now you have to adapt to that, and it's a slow process, but we're getting to know it, and sure,
yeah,
it'll be
exactly
fine.
right. And and so tell me a little about Hirt and where the album was made and Hirt produced it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started my collaboration with Gert in another project called Herbie and the Ghosts. I was having this idea of playing small gigs in small venues, or snugs, or to have people really listen to the music instead of these loud pub gigs,
Indeed.
that I still do and enjoy. But um, if
It's
you
a
want,
different thing, of course. It's
it's a
completely
completely different, yeah,
yeah.
it's completely different. It's a different atmosphere, and there are certain songs that I usually don't play in pub gigs because they get lost in the crowd.
Exactly. You can't. Yeah.
So I want to, and that's the type of songs that I wanted to bring, and I was looking for a good musician to play along with me, and that's how I met Geert, playing for yet another band, and we hit it off. He's a fantastic musician. He's a genius on the guitar,
He's in a few projects.
and
Yes, he is.
oh yeah, he is. Yeah, and little did I know he had a studio. He owns Ghost Town Studio in Hamix in Antwerp. I didn't know that at the time when we met, but so we started rehearsing in his studio, recorded the first EP for the 4-track EP, with a few songs just to get to know each other and to get people to know our songs and the way we sounded, and it all grew from there. We recorded the album, the two of us, in Ghost Town Studio. I recorded voice and guitar, and Gerd basically recorded all the rest. Pascal Michiels, the famous Flemish actor, who's
Mm-hmm.
actually a fantastic percussionist, plays percussion on it, on a few of the tracks. She's a great friend of Geert's, and she helped us out there, which for which I'm very grateful.
Brilliant.
She talks about herself not in terms of being a percussionist. She says, "I make little sounds," but
I love
the
it.
sounds she makes are short of little short of genius. And then it was produced by Geert as well,
Yeah,
and
wow.
that was a very long, intensive process. But
Mm.
as I like to say to people when we're talking about this process, I may have written the songs originally. A lot of it we did together. Like I said, some of the songs were finished products. For instance, Hollow Road was pretty much finished, but some of the songs needed work, and that's where Gert also came in lyrics wise, music wise. So we actually it was really a combined effort, a team process, and
Well,
but
you
he
can be,
really
yeah.
turned them into to songs,
I was just going to say that you can be very
yeah,
proud of the product, the end result. I
yeah,
mean, it's just,
yeah.
yeah, he did a great job, and kudos
Oh,
to
he
both
did,
of
yeah,
you for that. He really did, made it into something very special. But
yeah,
then you sent me a little sneak peek of a little road movie,
yeah.
and all of the. So I love what you've done with the album, just so people know. Instead of track one through to 10 is normal. They have, so track one is going to be like 10%, track
That's
two is
right.
going to be
Yeah,
20%, track three
yeah,
30%, right up
yeah.
to 100. That's very clever also. So, and tell me a little bit about this road movie that you made and who made it and how it came about.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, the thing with the percentages is, it's 10% on a scale of happiness, and the idea of the scale of happiness came from one of our gigs. We were doing a small tour in Flanders, just a few days, and we got to talking to a couple of people after a gig, and we had a good time. And one of the girls that were there said, "Well, on a scale of happiness, I'd say we're at 10 right now." And I thought that was very, very funny.
Fantastic.
It was even more funny at the time. Uh, but so we decided to use that as a band name, and that's where the percentages come from. Now, in this whole process, a guy called Bert Lizy, who's a great artist, painter, and poet, down in Antwerp, and a good friend of Geert's as well, came up with the idea of, first of all, we asked him to do the artwork for the album, and he came up with the idea, instead of taking pictures and or doing artwork in a sense of making a painting or anything like that. He came up with the idea, why not shoot a movie and take stills from the movie and insert them into the lane for the album. And so we kind of it kind of grew from there. And the movie originally, I thought it was going to be like this very serious rock and roll thing where we celebrate our own genius, but but soon enough, we came up with the thing. Why not do it like it's Spinal Tap? The 80s movie Spinal Tap with the rock
Yes.
band, the Over the Hill rock band, and that's kind of the idea behind the movie. So we're on tour, but everything goes wrong,
When everything
and
goes
when
wrong.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, everything goes wrong. I
It's
mean,
clever, good idea. It was
yeah,
yeah, you're going to different venues on the road and the van is
right.
breaking down. There's all
Oh
kinds of
yeah,
stuff going on.
oh yeah,
But
yeah,
and are you going to release this somehow
yeah. The
online or what's the
idea.
plan with it?
Well, we've a double plan with it. First of all, we've released it, or we've done a first viewing of it in Antwerp, in a gallery where Bert Lizy was showing off his paintings. Bert, by the way, does a daily. He's called it the Daily Lizy, doing a daily thing on Facebook where he paints, or he makes pictures about
Wonderful.
everyday life, and it's very funny. He also has a book about it, and he was showing off his paintings in this gallery, and we had a viewing of the movie.
Hmm.
Now, the movie itself obviously has the songs in it, but the idea would be to show the movie and we'd play the songs live over the images, and that worked out very, very well.
Yeah.
So we're doing that in the future as a theater gig, as well as releasing parts of the movie on our new website that's coming up.
And
so people can see it.
of course, facebook.com, folks. Give
That's
their
right.
page a like. They're On a Scale of Happiness. We'll give you all the good info from stuff that's happening. That's a Facebook page you can like. Kieran is just asking. I'm not going to let you away without playing a song. Well, Kieran, normally I don't get the artist to play songs because whatever the Wi-Fi does to the signal when they play, it becomes all broken up and weird. So I tend to use there can be confusion about why don't the artists play live. It's mainly because the Wi-Fi and the whatever you call it, the waves don't allow it somehow, Kieran. So I use these little snippets from YouTube and that's the reason I don't ask them to play live. So I hope that answers your question. So speaking of which, time for a song, and this is the scale of On a Scale of Happiness, and it should be track number 3 or 30%, isn't that it?
Yeah,
looks right. And both sides, same side of a different coin. Sorry.
Same side of a different coin.
Get that title. Same side of a different coin, folks. On a Scale of Happiness from the Little Road movie. So world premiere here today. You're going to get a sneak peek of this great little movie. Check out the production and the song. Of course, it's really great. On a Scale of Happiness is the band.
Struggling to write these words about a craving we share and the promises we don't keep just to show we don't care. But you're home day and night, you're always there, and the sadness in your eyes tells our story. Side of a different coin, you're the compass of my desire, and we're the same side of a different coin. Now we can be apart, but we'll never. And then finally we meet one night, and our wills led astray. A gentle touch that shows you care. Different life, different day. Still you hump me day and night. You're always there, and the sadness in your eyes tells our story. And we're the same side of a different coin. You're the compass of my desire, and we're the same side. Makes my day. How when you notice me, you just smile at the ground and you stop, gently changing your pace, showing it off without haste. You're cool and you're always on top, and we're the same side of a different coin. You're the compass of my desire, and we're the same side of a different coin. Now we can be apart, but we'll never.
Same side of a different coin on a scale of happiness. That looked like a pretty dismal tour, all right.
Oh yeah. It was bad. It was bad. We recorded it on a Sunday morning. We started at 4 a.m. So that was
Recording it, did you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh,
And it was raining. It was raining like this. This was biblical, so it was perfect. It was really perfect.
If that song doesn't lift you out of the old Corona depression, folks, nothing will. That's a fantastic song there.
Thank you.
From the pen of Mr. Van Zanten.
Yeah.
I'm talking about him behind his back, in front of his face here. It's okay.
That's okay. That's all right.
And again, from Saint Denis is down there. How's it going? Thanks for
Hello.
tuning in, and again, it's lovely to see you. Kieran forgave us for not making you play live. So it's
All
okay.
right.
Thanks, Kieran.
He's my one fan in Spain. So he has to do.
But what a fan! Yes, he's doing a great job there. Thanks, Kieran, for
yeah,
tuning
he's
in.
a lovely man.
And stay safe down there in Spain, and everyone else wherever you are. Like I said, we know this is going to test our patience, test our our gall. But we can do this. We can do this. We just gotta be careful and ride out the storm, as they say. I see a lovely Ibanez guitar behind you there. Put it off the wall there if you can. Or can you reach it from there without?
I can.
There we go. Play it, but I just you got that recently, I think.
I did, yeah.
I'm a fan of Ibanez guitars. I just wanted to see.
This is it.
She's lovely.
This is my new little. I got that last year.
Is that your main baby?
I'm playing this a lot during gigs, especially pub gigs, where I don't use the old Gibson. I got this in a place called Click Track, which is in my home village.
Shout out to Click Track, cool.
Yeah.
What town is that in?
Himmelverdigen.
Himmelverdigen, of all places.
in my home place. Yeah.
Yes. Do you know the model of that Ibanez there? Do you have?
I'll have a look.
Check her out there.
It's the AE205BS something.
Okay.
That's it.
Nice one.
They have lovely guitars.
Lovely guitar it is.
Yeah,
it looks great.
Very nice price quality. They're grand, They're very good
Absolutely
guitars.
Absolutely are. Thanks for sharing.
I really like them. Yeah.
Yeah, and your other guitar, as you said, is a very nice Gibson guitar, which you played in the first video that we played there today.
Yeah.
On the Hollow Road. Is it a kind of a J200 style guitar, Gibson?
It's a J185. Yeah.
J185.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The grand auditorium body. Which is,
better late than never. Luke just jumped in there as well, and we said we can both start now.
Hello, Luke.
Now Luke is here. Yeah, it's all right.
Great.
You're too late. Where were you half an hour ago? I said Valerie had him out doing a bit of work or something.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. What gigs are? Well, I don't know. I was gonna say what gigs are coming up, or what.
None
do
of
you
it.
have in the future? Say after April, May. Do you have stuff coming up?
I have some stuff coming up. Yeah.
Some songwritery things. Lots of bar gigs. Just give a shout out to some of the bars that you play. I know you do some Irish pubs. If you want to shout out,
I do.
where
I play. I kind of do a resident thing, like DJs these days. A resident thing here in Alston, the St James Gate Irish pub.
Yeah. Nice one.
Lovely people. They really support local musicians,
Brilliant.
and they have like 2 gigs a month every month, and they book me usually once a month.
New
which
owners
is nice.
there for a few months, no?
Yeah, and exactly. And Greta and Edgar doing a great job, and suffering at the moment, doing takeaway food and stuff.
Trying to keep it offloading,
yeah. And then I do a lot of gigs in Bruges as well, as you know. Delaney's in Bruges. John Delaney books me quite often. The new pub in Kortrijk.
You started that one, did you?
Pub. I did, yeah. Lovely place.
Yeah.
Very nice people. And we're going to do a few gigs there as well. We're being booked all the way through September. So that's
cool.
that's nice. In September, I'll probably do a gig in Mechelen as well.
I saw that you have something nice coming up with Katya in
with
Mechelen.
Katya. That's right.
That's September though. That's
It is.
Hopefully it'll all be cleared and gone by then.
I hope so. We had 4 gigs lined up for St Patrick's Day. But they were all obviously cancelled and hopefully postponed to a later date.
Yes, I'd say so.
But,
of course, indeed. And again, will be at the gig in Kortrijk anyway. She's saying, "Wee,
Yeah.
Kortrijk." Yeah,
Yay!
she's from down there. Yeah,
Oh
long
yeah,
live
it's a
Kortrijk.
great place, lovely
Did you
place.
say?
It
Did you
is.
say you got new posters there recently as well?
I did, yeah.
Give us a look
I
at them
just
there as well. Throw
all
that
right.
back up there on the wall.
We'll throw this one back.
Uh,
There we go.
yeah, you were saying that you got a nice new poster, which is kind of
Yeah,
cool as
this
well. Yeah.
is for my solo gigs. There it is.
Very
There we go.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Live. What does it say in the corner?
It
Live.
says live. Where is it? There we go. Live in date
Oh,
and
you just
time.
did
So we
live
can,
day time.
yeah,
Very nice. That's a great
we can just.
photograph, actually, on that.
Yeah,
Where was that taken?
that was taken last summer at the RWR Festival in Zomergem. We got booked fairly late. Ravers is a quite a big festival. It has two huge stages, one main stage for very popular performers here in Belgium, and then a second stage, which is it's nice. It's about half a kilometer away from the first stage. Actually, it's huge place, and they do the listening things up there.
Yeah.
And we were asked to play down there, and that was a really nice experience. And they had a professional photographer taking all these pictures, and I could never look this good, so he probably did a lot of work on that, I think.
I think
There must have been some,
lots of Photoshop.
yeah, it must have been some morphing technology with some good-looking musician.
You're only being modest as usual, Van Zandt. Stop it. You're not modest in real life at all. I know you well.
No, I'm not.
No, well,
As far as I'm concerned, I'm fucking perfect.
You're where was your university? Was it Leuven or Brussels?
It was Leuven, yeah.
Was it Leuven? Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, you did a lot of damage there. A lot of gigs.
I did.
You did.
Yeah. I used to play in Stapleton's. Do a few gigs.
Of course, you did
Oh
Staples.
yeah,
You did student years. Yeah.
Yeah, that was back in the day. That was back in the Otmer days when I was playing with Jan Noorens on the saxophone. Great fun.
Oh God,
Lovely.
Yeah, I remember now.
Great
coming
musician.
Back to me now.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, we did a lot of
Ingrid.
gigs down there.
Herby, me and Edgar love you a lot. Isn't that
Oh
nice?
Jesus, look.
Ingrid, we love him a lot too. Thank you and we love you for tuning in and for supporting what we do. Folks, don't be shy about going on there to that Facebook page. Give it a share and maybe give this video a share. When we're done, it'll be up for sharing later on. And of course, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. You get all the you won't miss any of the streams. I have a few nice ones coming up this week. Hopefully tomorrow afternoon I'll be talking to Eamon McCormack in Germany, an Irish blues legend.
Oh, lovely.
Friday I hope to be to be talking to my friend in Norway, Knut over there in Norway, and hopefully maybe even Thursday night we'll be talking with the brilliant Eva de Rovera here. So fingers crossed, all that goes to plan. But look, we'll confirm that as we go. Tell me a little bit about Mallory. The last song I'm going to play today is Mallory.
Mallory. That's like 50% on the scale of happiness. We're almost there. Mallory is basically a song about the fact that I think, or my sentiments at the time were that you can't live with one single person your entire life, and everybody needs different inputs in their life. It's about having a person that lifts you up and makes you go wild and do crazy, often stupid things, but also needing that person that keeps you down to earth and sets the rules. And that's really what it's about. And hopefully you can find that in one person. But everybody needs, those two people, or those two inputs in their life, I think.
I think so too. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, without going into, being in many relationships, but it's difficult, of course, for one person, be it me, you, or anybody else to fulfill. I think what you're trying to say, or what you are saying, of course, is difficult for one person to fulfill the needs emotionally, physically, and spiritually of another person. And if you can find that, as you said, on a scale of happiness, if you
You're
can find
halfway
that in
there.
one person, well, yeah, hopefully you'll find it. You'll find a lot of those qualities in one person, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy to find everything you need in one person, I guess.
No,
Is
that's kind of
something
the
I would
basic.
definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of basic idea about in this song. This is a song I wrote years back. Like I said, some songs are just you write them and they're finished,
Yeah.
and some of them, I think all artists have this, painters or writers or musicians. Sometimes you just need to go back to something and work on it. And this was written years ago. I think 2000 must have been 2014, 2010 maybe even. I started that song and revisited
Yeah.
multiple times. Yeah, and
Sure. Well,
then
some of the best songs are written like that, Herbie.
I suppose
A lot
so.
of the younger songwriters now, I find a lot, and I said this before on these streams, that a lot of the younger songwriters now, especially in the social media age, want to write a song in 5 minutes and get it up
Yeah,
on Instagram and on Facebook as soon as humanly possible.
yeah,
Excuse me, for likes and comments and shares, instead of giving it time to settle, to
yeah.
work on it, to maybe to go. I mean, Leonard Cohen's a prime example of that. I mean, an 8 verse song like Hallelujah,
Has 40,
originally
40
had 40
verses.
or 50 verses to begin
Yeah,
with, and
exactly.
then it was
Yeah,
edited, and
yeah. That's something
that's an
I
extreme version, but an
yeah,
extreme example.
but it's something I learned in the whole process of making the album, that songs, writing songs and making music is work. You know, it's not something you do on a Sunday afternoon, taking your guitar and going, all right, now I'm going to write a fantastic song. That
Yeah,
just for
doesn't happen.
me, it doesn't happen. And it's been work. It's been trying out stuff. It's been, getting people to say that works and that doesn't work in a very, sometimes a very harsh and very, meaningful but
Hmm.
rough way, going, Jesus, that just doesn't work. The song doesn't have a chorus. What are you doing?
Yeah,
And
sometimes constructive criticism is what you're
yeah,
talking about, of course, and
yeah,
sometimes that can be the best thing that ever happened to you. I've had
yeah,
situations at songwriting seminars and with Imro in Dublin years ago, where a guy would, like, literally, you sit down in front of him with your song and he'd rip it apart in front of your face,
yeah,
because that's what
yeah,
he's there for, and that can be the best thing that can ever happen to you as a songwriter,
oh
because
yeah,
suddenly it's like, oh yeah, I see see what's happening here.
yeah,
And again, it's a learning curve. It's a good thing. A lot of songwriters, I think, are more in love with the idea of being a songwriter than actually. And then when they realize the amount of work it takes,
oh yeah,
and literally hard work, it's a hard slog.
it is.
You put your heart and soul into an album, but before it's even out, you have to be you have to be already writing your second album, ready for
Yeah,
that to come.
yeah, that's
And
yeah,
that's where the work comes in, and dedicated songwriters will
exactly.
do that.
Yeah,
And it's hard going. It's hard going, as you know.
it's an
And then
ongoing thing,
it's an ongoing thing, and then you'll make
Yeah,
something that you think is brilliant, and nobody wants to buy it, or it
yeah,
doesn't get airplay, and then you kind
yes,
of have to, okay, put it behind, move on to the next thing, because
yeah.
the old expression
I
that you
think
have.
I think both of us are pretty much brilliant.
Do you
It's just the problem. The
speak for
problem is
yourself?
that the problem is that the world just isn't ready for us.
That's probably
In
also the fact. Yeah,
maybe in
maybe we're
maybe in a
beyond our
hundred
time.
years, exactly. Look at Van Gogh. I mean,
Look, exactly.
you know,
You know what
he's
I
Am I comparing myself to
mean?
Van Gogh on a live stream? Jeez,
Oh well,
it's
no,
it's
yeah,
worse than I thought.
worse than I thought. This coronavirus it's just ruined you, Herbie.
Maybe, yeah,
Oh
maybe.
man, oh man, oh man. But look, I'm gonna shoot over and play this great song, folks.
All right.
It's called Mallory. It's also from the Little Road movie, so you're getting a sneak peek of this as well. And where did you say this movie's going to appear eventually when it does come out?
We're gonna show it on theater gigs, concerts,
Oh, nice.
in collaboration with Bert Lazzie, who'll be doing the projection and all that.
Oh, I
And
see.
then
And
the
that's the
idea
man
would
who
be,
made it, yeah.
yeah, that's the guy who made it. I'll show you one of his pictures later on
Yeah,
if I
we'll
can.
put a link. We'll maybe put a link after we reshare
Yeah,
this later. We put a link on
yeah.
to him underneath
Oh yeah,
the. Yeah,
that'd be great.
we can.
And then the idea would be to chop up the movie into the different songs and post them on our website so people can look at it and download it and
Perfect.
enjoy the music and the clips.
Indeed, folks. Here's a great song. from Herby, and On a Scale of Happiness. It's called Mallory, folks. Love it.
You know there's one that brings out the beast in me. There's one that lays down the law for me. Makes me go wild and lets me run free. Keeps me in line and insanity. Breaks down the bonds imposed on me. And measures the pleasures responsibly. Caresses the monster I yearn to be. But keeps down a creature that could destroy me. Of the lock and the fence, and so need to break out a loss of control to define myself, and no matter it, take me away tonight, take me away on your wings tonight, take me away from the memories that haunt me tonight. Matter you keep me up tonight. I think about all that was said tonight. Think about all the things I've done wrong. Bring me, no matter it, take me away tonight. Take me away on your wings tonight. Take me away from the memories. Bring me, no matter it.
Yeah, Mallory.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Another great song. Absolutely great
Thank
song.
you.
A couple of
Thanks a
great
lot.
comments coming in there as well. I think he loves it. Lovely comment there from Marianne. Your voice and your songs still give me goosebumps. Keep up the good work.
Oh,
Thank you so
jeez.
much, Marianne.
Thank
So
you.
nice of
Thank
you.
you, Marianne.
And of course, #1 fan,
Oh, yeah.
Kieran Byrne. Thank you so much. Might be hard work, Herbie, but the result is fine. Art, which we really appreciate. Keep up the good work, my friend. Yeah, so
Thank
yeah,
you.
beautiful stuff.
Thank you,
Great,
Kieran.
great words of encouragement there from everyone, and
Yeah.
much appreciated. Absolutely appreciated. Put down that gun. On a Scale of Happiness, folks, that is the check out that Facebook page and give it a like and a share. You sent me a website for that man there,
That's right. That's Bert. That's the man.
the man who made the video and who has his own.
This is
Oh, look,
this is
that's
a
one of his pieces.
yeah, it
That's
is
beautiful.
He made that for us when we aired the movie for the first time. And you see, it's
beautiful. I love that it's in all Scale
been
of Happiness.
signed by the man himself.
That's
It's grand.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So bertlazy.be, you can find all his work on there. That's
Yeah.
nice that we can give him a little plug on this. Brilliant. Herbie VS, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you today. And I don't care what to say about you. You're all right.
Same to you, Dahi. Same to you. Always a
Stay-
pleasure to see you. And
Thank you.
thanks a lot for having
Stay
me.
safe and well, and in solitude.
I will.
And keep writing those fine songs. We'll see each
I
other
will.
down the road. Absolutely.
Okay.
We sure will, folks. I'll let you go, and we'll talk to each other. Stay on the line there. We'll talk after this broadcast.
Okay.
Take it easy, bud, and talk to you soon.
See you. Thanks.
So, folks, there you go. Lovely talking to my old buddy there, Herbie VS, Herbie Van Zanten. And thank you all so much for dropping by the stream today. I'm going to try a few of these this week. I'll have every next 2 days, hopefully 4 o'clock, here on Raving with Rua on the channel. It'd be great if you can join us. Please share this video, get Herbie's music out there. Subscribe to the channel if you can. Follow us along on social media, all that good stuff. And we'll see each other very soon on the next Raving with Rua. Take care of yourselves.